Hello, this is Darren Moskowitz, and I'll be discussing Schubert's Impromptu, Opus 90 No. 4, in A-flat major. So, this piece is in A-flat major, right? You're wrong. It is, but it starts in A-flat minor. This is very odd to start in the minor key, even though it's pretty much in the major key. The reason it's in A-flat minor is because you have that C-flat right there, which is May in A-flat minor. So we can call this the introduction because it doesn't really start in the home key. It starts with the parallel minor. So throughout this first page, we visit a couple keys here. We go from A flat minor to C flat major, then to B minor. So how do we get from A flat minor to C flat major? So let's look at the overall theme structure here. So in A flat minor, we have a theme of arpeggiation. We're just going through the arpeggio of A flat minor, A flat, C flat, E flat. We go from the tonic to dominant, tonic to dominant. Now right here, we start in tonic. We go to dominance with that flat 9, and it builds tension, which resolves to the 7. Goes back to the tonic, dominant, tonic, dominant. Then right here, in order to get to C flat major, we go from the tonic to the dominance, secondary dominant of 3, C flat major, and it goes to G flats, which is sol of C flat. So we're in a new tonic key here. Go from tonic to dominant in C flat major, tonic to dominant, and we go from a minor dominant with a added 9th, 8, 7. But how do we get to B minor? Question is, what's the connection between C flat major and B minor? As we know, C flat is pretty much B. They're both enharmonic spellings. They're equivalents. So basically, B minor is the parallel minor of C flat major. You can see this right here. G flat can also be spelled as F sharp, which is the dominance of B minor. So we land on B minor, go from tonic to dominant while having the same arpeggio theme, to tonic to dominant. Then right here we go to tonic to dominant, which is secondary dominant of major 3. And then we go to a deceptive cadence of 3. And the reason this deceptive motion here is so cool and so different, because we see right here, all these are 2 measures. But having the deceptive motion right here allows Shubert to revisit the dominance, to give it a second try, to go back to its respective tonic. Now we go to the dominant again, F sharp. And now when we get over here, we get to the 5 of 4. So 4 being D flat in the key of A flat major. So G sharp is A flat, which is the dominant of D flat. So if thinking A flat major here, you go from the predominance. And I also put this right here. Foreshadowing in C sharp minor, because we visit C sharp minor in the trio, which we'll get to later. And foreshadowing is a great way to enrich. So going on, we go from 4 to a cadential 6-4, which resolves to the 5-3, and look at that. Finally arrive in the tonic key of A flat major. We have finally started the piece, pretty much. So what do we have here? Pretty much this is all in A flat major. We have finally gotten to our main, quote unquote, main theme, Even though this was the main theme of the piece, I would call this the proper main theme or the second theme. In this piece, Shubert does a lot of theme and variations with different keys. So in the A flat major, we still have the tonic to dominant motion, tonic to dominant, tonic to dominant, and then we end on the half cadence right here. And we have that same tonic to dominant, but here we have tonic to predominant, to dominant, to tonic, predominant, dominant, tonic, predominant, dominant, and tonic, predominant. So Shubert really loves using his 1-4-5-1 chord progression. So right here, why are the chords here, 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 and all around the page? And the accents here, here, here. Why do they land on beat 2? The answer to that question is that it gives a feeling of this piece being in 1. Of course, this piece is metered in 3/4. With these arpeggiations, it feels like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But the reason he puts the chords on beat 2 is to emphasize the offbeats, so that it feels like there's more of a connection between each measure. So if you're going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, you got 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It just feels more flowing and more connective between the phrasing, which is great. And then he does it again here. 1, 2, 1, 2. It feels like more of a waltz theme. So he does that in A flat major because it's more of a happier feeling key. So, and you got a little passing tones here because you leap up and then you go back down. You leap up and you go back down. And then it's just very good voice leading to get to these predominants and dominants. Page 3. So right here, where is tonic? Use of secondary dominants. So on this page, we have a lot of secondary dominants here. We go from dominant to tonic, dominant to tonic. Now we have the secondary dominant of minor 2, going 6 to 2. So before, we've been using tonic predominant dominance, but now we're using variations of that predominance, which eventually leads us to this plagal cadence right here. That is huge cadence right here that outlines the 4 chord, which is a big moment as emphasized here with the fortissimo right here. So we arpeggiate the 4 chord, and then we have this sforzando on a 7 fully diminished 7, which resolves to the 5 dominants. Half cadence goes back to A flat major. As we can see, we've never seen this before. So right here is another theme. I'd say this is the third theme, third and final theme of A flat major. And, oh yeah, lifting here. So I feel in this section that is a section of lifting. So here we go into the octave range here. We go so high, so high, so high, and then we hit the predominance, which eventually we fall back down all the way back to A flat major. It gives us a sense of hope. And then we eventually resolve back down to A flat major. So we keep on going with the themes. We have variations of the predominance. We're tonicizing the predominance with the 2 chords right here. Got more dominance right here. On the next page, we have more repetition of the second theme with the chords on the second beat. It's in this piece, Shubert does a ton of repetition. It's good repetition, but he's very cautious about it. And we got imperfect authentic cadence right here. We have more repetition of the second theme with the more with the passing tones. And then here, instead of landing on the plagal cadence, we finally resolve to 1. And it sounds like the piece has concluded. We are happy, we are home. But no. We go into an A flat major 7. A dominant 7, actually. See that G flat right there? You see how we foreshadowed C sharp minor right here. D flat is the same thing as C sharp. They're on enharmonic equivalents. We see A flat dominant 7 is the 5, 6, 5 of 4, which is C sharp. A flat is G sharp, which is the dominance of C sharp. So we can say this is the transition to the trio, which leads us to C sharp minor. And it's so cool right here, the C right here, C natural, resolves up to C sharp, while this A flat, quote unquote G sharp, lands to that C sharp right here. So cool because you have two very strong tendency tones leading to that C sharp in the trio. Okay, we're in the trio. This is completely different, very unexpected in this piece. We've gone through arpeggiations, we've gone through keys, some major keys, we got through the tonic key. Now what do we have here? We have a binary form here. Based on this binary form, we have the first section right here and the second section right here. It is tonally open, meaning it does not start in C sharp minor. It does start in C sharp minor, but does not stay in C sharp minor. It's rounded, asymmetrical, because this part is shorter than this part actually. With a cadence rhyme, it has half cadence right here and half cadence right here. Okay, so we start in C sharp minor. We go through the tonic, dominance, predominance, and oh boy, I love this chord. Major 3 and third inversion, which gives it that uplifting feeling. And I love these tendency tones right here because you have a suspension right here and you have a retardations here, which gives you a sense of lift, but you come back down. Now what you see here is a 5-7 of 5. So you have a D chord right here leading to G minor. And it sounds like G minor is the new tonic, but adding that B sharp right there makes it major again, leaning back to C sharp minor. And then when you get to the second ending, it's minor again, and then turns back to major. And now right here, so that's how dominant being tonic and dominant at the same time. And we visit the non-chord tones. We have some retardations, suspensions, appoggiaturas right here, accented upper neighbor tones. Schubert's using them all, and it's great. Now, how I see the rainbow style. When I look at pieces, I look at the shape. So as you look at the shape right here, it's so nice because overall, this piece gives you a sense of hope and fall. As you rise, you fall, but you pick yourself up. So right here, the rainbow style of you making it all the way up the ladder and then bringing it back down has that rainbow shape right here, which makes it so cool. And then you have another rainbow shape right here. You're making your way yourself back down, back up. And then what do we have here? We have dominance, going to a 6, 2, to another dominance. We're holding on dominance. We're holding to that the G sharp major chord. And then we go into a deceptive motion here. Actually, no, it's actually tonicizing dominance. And then right here, we go into a cadential 6, 4 to 5, 3, but we have an E sharp, C sharp, E sharp, G sharp. That's mode mixture. We are now in the key of C sharp major. So now we got from the dark scenes of C sharp minor. Composers love using C sharp minor to enhance a more depressive mood. Now we're into a happier key, C sharp major, and we go through the tonic and dominance, and we have more tendency tones right here, the retardations right here. More retardations. We have a major 2 right here, tonicizing predominance, going back to dominance, and then we go to a minor 1 instead of major, which leads us back right here, back to the key of C sharp minor. And when we come back to this, to right here, we're still in C sharp minor, but guess what? Right here we have C sharp minor. C sharp is equivalent of wait, never mind. So we have this is D flat right here, D sharp right here, D sharp. And this is the dominance of A flat minor, because we go back to A flat minor right here. D sharp is the same thing as E flat, which is sol, the dominant of A flat minor. So pretty much this section right here is the transition back to A flat minor, the first key we saw in the beginning. So we are back in A flat minor. So we took a different turn in the trio. We're finally coming back, but instead of going to 1, we stay in dominance. We add that flat 9 to give it some character, and we arpeggiate that, and finally, we get back to A flat minor. Now we are all in repetition mode. Same thing here. Same thing as the beginning. We've been so long outside the beginning. It's been about at least 6 minutes outside the beginning. So it's perfect to come back to this theme again, because it's beautiful. It's a great theme. We got the second repetition in the main theme here, with the same chords, nothing different. Not even a single note is different. It's all copy and paste right here. Good job, Shubert. And then you get the repetition of the third theme. And then you got your plagal cadence right here with the 7 diminished 7 going to tonic, going back to A flat major again. And then what's different here, this is all the same, but instead of going to 4, we finally make it to 1 right here at the end of the piece. And then we finally end on 5, and then 1 to end the piece. And with all that, with all the notes, all the structure, we would think we would end on a perfect authentic cadence, but Shubert, you had to end it off in an imperfect authentic cadence. Sounds great, but it does. It could sound more closure with a perfect authentic cadence, but I think it does it justice with imperfect. It really shows the style of Schubert's, of not giving full closure in his compositions. All right, so that is the analysis of Schubert's Impromptu Opus 90 number 4. I really enjoyed analyzing this piece, and into its entirety, we looked over the themes and the overall structure of the piece with the different modulations in mode mixture. And oh boy, this piece has so much in it, and I can keep on going, and it's such a great piece to play as well. So I hope you enjoyed, and hope you learned something new, and thank you for watching.